Hey, so I recently moved into a new home, and in order to keep it clean, everybody needs a vacuum. That's why I got this Dyson V11 Torque Drive Plus. Let's open it up and take a look at it. And then here's what it looks like on the inside. Let's get this out of all this packaging. So it comes with a little quick start guide here, as well as some deeper literature. This is the safety guide and instruction manual. So here's a quick look at all the pieces and parts that it comes with. It looks like a spaceship I gotta put together. So we're gonna get started with this piece here because it's the actual vacuum. And so to turn it on, we just hit this button here and that'll power it up, and then it'll give us some languages to select. So just a whole bunch of different languages here that you can select from, as you'll see. I'm gonna select English. And I hold this button down on English for 3 seconds. Now it wants us to fully charge it before the first use. So it does come with this power cord right here, 2-prong wall attachment, and the adapter into the vacuum. And if we have the vacuum like this, it's going to charge right here on this little piece right here. So I'm going to let that charge. And when I plug it in and press this button, it gives me a little indicator that says it's 30% charged so far. So we're going to have to let that get to 100 before we start vacuuming. Alright, so I plugged it in at about 6:30 last night, and about 9 o'clock when I went to bed it was still charging, so I had to let it charge overnight. And now you can see that it's fully charged, and we can select from a couple different modes of vacuuming here. They have boost mode, medium mode, and eco mode that basically just changes how much power is going to go into the vacuum here. Eco obviously will last the longest time. Boost will give it the most power. So now that it's all charged up, let's put it together and give it a little whirl. So before we get started cleaning, we need to take a look at all of the different accessories like this pipe here and all the different handles, because there's lots of different ways to clean with the Dyson V11 Torque Drive Plus. And of course the first one is just this extension handle right here, so you can just add distance onto everything that you're cleaning. And you can see that that pops off really easily as well, just by pressing this little button right here. And to clip onto the end of the vacuum, we have this little adjustable neck right here that gives us multiple positions to clean from. So we could just clip that on like that, and then this is able to move up and down to give us all different kinds of angles and cleaning distances. We could also clip it onto this end over here, and then that could go into the vacuum itself, and that will give us the ability to, say, clean underneath things by putting it like this. So by taking that arrangement there and attaching the floor module like this, you'd be able to very easily get underneath beds or chairs or desks and things like that. Or you could attach it to the front of the vacuum like this again, and then you could put on one of the attachments like this one here, and that will give you the ability to get up high on things. So if you wanted to clean, say, on top of a tall cabinet or inside of a closet, this kind of extension right here will be able to get up on top of it. We also have a really interesting piece right here. You can see this screw technology right here that prevents hair from getting tangled. So something like this is great for picking up pet hair off of upholstery and things like that. It's actually called the anti-tangle screw. And they have the same kind of system on the larger floor module as well. Then we have an attachment like this with long brushes, and that's obviously going to be better for more delicate surfaces. And this one here that has a very soft brush. This one can actually be used to clean off things like the top of your keyboard without having to worry about damaging your computer. Then we have two of these angled extenders right here. You can see this one's a little bit shorter and a little bit smaller than this one. And this one right here, if you'll bear with me for a minute, will actually light up to make it easier to clean in dark spaces. Watch as I turn off the light. And you'll see that it actually does a good job of lighting up the whole room. Maybe that's hard to tell on camera. And obviously I shouldn't have to say this, but you don't have to use the extending tube right here. You can just plug in the mounts right into this. And then we have an attachment here called the combination tool. This one has a little brush here that you can extend out, or you can just slide it back here, and this will give you a wide angle mouth. We also have an attachment right here that can go onto the extending piece like this, and then that can be used to hold different pieces like that. And you could put another one in on this side. Just makes it more convenient to have everything you need right at your fingertips. And you should always remember to empty this out whenever it gets full. You'll see that right here it has a max line, so once it's filled up, you should definitely have it emptied out in order to retain suction. To do that, you just pull down on this lever here, and this piece will pop open and things will fall out, so make sure you do this above a waste basket. And then there's a little button right here that you can push to completely remove it and make sure that it's totally empty and cleaned out. And then you can just slide it back on like that and then give it a close. And if it's ever so dirty that you really want to clean it, just use a damp cloth wipe out the interior and make sure that it's totally dry before placing it back onto the vacuum. There's also a filter here that you may occasionally need to change, and that's really easy. You just twist it off, pop it off, and you'll see the filter right there, which you can change out and then put it back on, and then twist it back on. And the filter unit is actually washable, so you could run this under water and make sure it gets nice and cleaned out. Just make sure, again, that it's totally dry before you reinsert it into the vacuum. So if you're looking for a high-powered, versatile, and easy-to-clean vacuum, this could be the one right here for you. I really don't think you can go wrong with it, with all the different attachments it has, with all the different controls that it has, and with just the high-quality name that it has in Dyson. I highly recommend this one right here.